Welcome back to the Rules of Engagement. You just saw a bunch of cool footage from some of the previous Major League Game Championships. Major League Gaming Championships. The events are a lot of fun. The crowd is crazy. There's a lot of excitement. It's awesome to participate in something as fun as watching Starcraft. It's even more awesome to participate it alongside other people who are just as passionate about their pastimes as you are. So if you're anywhere near the Dallas area, go ahead and get your pass now. They're 30% off if you buy them online, $35 online, $50 at the door. That's for the entire, the entire 3 days of the whole event. So it's actually a very good deal if you think about it. You get so many hours of content. You get to hang out. You get unlimited free Dr. Pepper and other boosts. Give you a lot of free stuff too. So it's an awesome event. If you're near there, go check it out. There's also, I think, there may be a couple of VIP. They may be sold out, but there may be a couple of VIP passes out. So if you want to be a bowler, get the full experience, go check those out all at majorleaguegaming.com. You can go find a store there. Buy yourself a pass March 15th through 17th. Now let's jump into game number 2 between Marineking Prime and Gumiho. We're going to talk about how to react to being Proxy Reaper. Proxy Reapers is an insanely popular build at the top of the ladder right now. I can tell you I've been playing Terran, and a lot of people like the Proxy Reaper. Some do 1 barrack, some do 2. There's actually a significant difference, but we'll talk about this situation here. We're going to talk about micro in a proxy situation. What's important to micro, and macro, of course, what to spend your money on in that proxy situation, because that's actually, it's funny because people say there's no macro in these little cheesy type builds, but you know what? Because there's not much macro, it means that every element has to be just perfect, because if you have very little resources, you better darn use those resources well, because if you waste some, you have nothing left, right? You can't. It's like if you only have $1 for lunch and you go rip it up and throw it behind you, you're gonna starve. If you have $100, sure, you can throw a couple dollars over your shoulder, give them out. You still can buy lunch. But these proxy situations, the macro is actually really important in deciding how to spend your money. So jumping into this game at the 3:10 mark, we're looking at this from Gumiho's perspective. He has no idea what's going on, right? He's getting his own Reapers to go ahead and scout, getting a second refiner, so he plans on building a factory pretty soon. But pretty soon, what happens is he sees that his opponent's Reaper is walking into his base. In fact, there's a barracks right there, but he didn't know that. He sees the Reaper here. He's like, at this instant, he knows 100% sure that he's being proxied, right? He knows that for 100% sure. So we're going to follow Gumiho's vision, actually. We'll lock on his camera and just have this play as we talk about this. If you're being proxied, they got to make a quick decision, right? Can I defend by constant production with what I have right now? I was planning to build a factory, right? Should I build it in my base? Well, it's going to take 65 seconds for that factory to get up, right? 65 seconds. By that time, this situation will be resolved one way or the other, right? So I might as well build a factory in his base. Because then, either I'll defend or I won't, but the factory probably won't come up in time to make a critical difference. If I can survive that long, I'll probably survive even longer. Put it in his base, he has nothing back there to defend. So if you have the extra resources and you can afford to do it, you can defend for a bit, throw that factory in your opponent's base, because then that's where, you can just do critical damage. Or maybe if you weren't minding gas, throw your second barracks in your opponent's base, right? If you can defend with what you have, use the extra amount to do a little bit of a counterattack, because they'll have no defenses at all, and they'll probably have a low worker count, so each little thing does a lot as well. So now we're going to talk about, now he decided to proxy that factory. Let's talk about a little bit of the micro in the situation. So actually, rewind this back just a smidgen again. And one thing to do for both, whichever side you are, if you're Gumiho or if you're Marineking, right? When you're microing in this situation, what you want to do, the way it works is because, look at this production, right? If we look at the unit count, they both have 1 Reaper, but Marineking's next Reaper will come out slightly before Gumiho's. So there's going to be this part of the time when Marineking has the Reaper advantage. And whatever proxy it is, if it's Zealots, Stalkers, Marauders, Reapers, if you're like Roach rushing a Zerg and other Zergs defending with Roaches, and you both have rallies coming in, what you want to do, every time you have a Reaper advantage, so right now it's Marineking, he's got 2, right? You want to press the action. Try to corner your opponent's Reapers, because if you can corner them, right, he's trying to corner it, he can take it out 2 versus 1. If you take out 1 unit, then you're going to be ahead for much longer, right? So you try to corner the Reapers when you're ahead in numbers and press the action. When you're behind, like what Gumiho was, try to avoid conflict. Try to buy time. And then when the numbers is equal, you can try to push the action again. Right, now look at it this time. Gumiho's got 2, but this time, his third is almost out. What he's trying to do, do you see that? He's intercepting the Reaper. He's intercepting it. Takes it out. And now, he's got the Reaper advantage. When you have the advantage, what do? You corner your opponent. See what he's doing? He's cornering his opponent. And if he corners him, he's going to get a Reaper kill. So, I mean, it may look like they're going back and forth, but look at this. Now he's going to trap him, get another Reaper kill, and now he's got 2 Reaper kills. So, next he's going to get a third one here. Of course, lose one of his own, but every time you have Reaper advantage, you press the action. If you have Reaper disadvantage, or if it's proxy stalkers, whatever it is in battle, during the lulls in the battle, you, I mean, meanwhile, this Helen's going to kill everything, and he's going to GG. But during the lulls in the battle, you retreat, buy time to get army equality or get your advantage. When you have the army advantage, that's when you push forward, try to corner their units, and force the battle when it's in your interest. So now let's back this up again and talk about macro in this situation, right? Well, let's back this up just there to the 5-minute mark. We're not going to look at the micro. We're going to take a look at Gumiho's base, right? A lot of people would say he's got 300 minerals, right? He's got 300 minerals right now. His macro is bad, right? He should be doing something else. Well, here's why those people who say that are wrong, right? Well, we'll just play this out a bit. The reason why they're wrong is because what would he do? Sure, he could build a barracks, but remember, barracks will take 65 seconds to build. By the time that barracks gets up, the proxy situation will be resolved. It'll be over, right? So spending money into barracks doesn't help you. If he saves the money, eventually build a command center, but more importantly, what he can do with his money, he wants to make sure that he never has to stop production of anything. He has to keep constant Reaper or Marine, whatever he wants to make out of his barracks, constant barracks production. Maintain constant Hellene production on the factory, and also maintain constant SV production. Because every unit, if it's a worker or whatever, every unit counts. So make sure you have constant production. You're saying, wait a minute, he obviously can afford to do this with his extra money. But what if the proxy situation gets crazy and they both lose all their workers, right? Then the guy who spent 150 minerals on a second barracks all of a sudden can't use it because they have no economy. The other guy, he can build 3 extra Marines because he has 150 minerals on the bank. So if you know that extra production buildings won't finish in time, just save up the rest of the money and spend it all. Just make sure you have constant production and that you have that little bit of bankroll so that even if, you know, you lose your workers, you can still have money to keep up the production at least for a little while. So in a proxy situation, always make a judgment. Can a production building finish in time to make a difference? Or should I save my money so that either it'll be resolved and I can expand, or it'll be resolved and I've lost my workers and I can use that cushion of money to maintain my production. Anyways, Gumiho chose everything just right. In this case, he defended that attack fairly convincingly. Of course, that led to his victory, winning Game 2, tying the series up 1-1. Take a short break, and then we're actually going to skip Game 3 because, well, I'll tell you what happened after break. We'll take a short break. We'll go on to Game 4.